Friday, February 24th, the 55th day of 2023. There are 310 days left in the year. Good morning, MD, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 103.9 The Moose, live online at K105.com. Via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Plus, we'll get you ready for a big weekend. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Okay.
You heard the adage about I was so poor I had to eat dog food.
No.
You've never heard somebody have to. I know for a fact sometimes people, because it's less expensive, have to resort to having canned dog food. Now, I'll tell you, I ate a piece or two of dry dog food when I was a kid.
I know Anna did.
Just because I had to test it out and just see how it went. But you do need to know, canned dog food has a higher nutritional value than shrimp, peanut butter, and sirloin steak.
I mean, have you looked at the prices on
Canned dog food?
Or yeah.
No, I have not. Is it expensive now?
I mean, and bags of dog food like the dry are really expensive.
Yeah, I guess if you convert that into human nutrition,
Maybe.
you would find out it would be much more expensive. But at least from a nutritional standpoint, now from a taste standpoint, I don't know. I don't think I want the fancy feast. He is a 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's a 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley and the Sparks. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Good.
Reds baseball tomorrow.
No, it's
Spring training. First spring training game is tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw that they got.
Does that excite you in any way?
It's probably not even on TV, so I could probably listen to Tommy Thrall on the call, but
maybe. YouTube TV has removed MLB Network, so I'm gonna
see.
if I want to buy.
They removed Bally Sports / Fox Sports about 3 or 4 years ago, and that's when I removed YouTube TV.
Yeah, see, you had no incentive to watch.
And then so I moved to another one who had it, and then they removed it. So now I'm pretty much just...
As a Reds fan, you weren't probably getting many Reds games on MLB Network, but I was getting quite a few Yankees games.
Well,
so
see,
even though I couldn't get but now their MLB Network is gone. I don't know.
You at least can subscribe to the MLB TV if you really and get all of those. See, how the MLB has it set up is that I'm blacked out from any Reds game.
Sure, because you're within the, geographically.
Which is...
So you need a team, you need to follow a team from further away is what it is.
Yeah.
I saw UConn say yesterday, or maybe it was this morning, he was excited about his Cubs season and their spring training starts, and thinking, I can't get too far involved in spring training. Look, 162 games is enough regular season. You throw in, 20 or 30 spring training games, and I think that's just more than I can.
I always just appreciate that you get the guys who have no chance of making the roster, who are number 84 out there or something like that. That it's always enjoyable.
Well, in all fairness, the Yankees have a bunch of big numbers, a bunch of high numbers because they got so many retired numbers. So, 84 is could be your starting. He could be your ace. So I also saw where the Lady Wildcats won the district championship last night.
They did. They were up. I know they started the game on like a 17-2 run, and I think you pretty much just went chalk from there on out. But when you're up by 15, it's tough to come back.
You can manage a game a little bit better that way, can't you?
Especially when you're playing at home.
So the boys' championship is Bears and Wildcats?
That is true. It is the same thing.
It's a peaceful affair and be completely quiet.
What, do things happen in Brownsville when,
no, they
when
love
there's
one
things
another.
on the line?
If there are not two fan bases that are more kumbaya than Butler County and Edmonson County. A love-in may break out. They may be exchanging peace flowers with one another and maybe wearing tie-dye and maybe singing Kumbaya.
Probably part of the reason why down in Brownsville they were cheering for Whitesville Trinity, because then they could have gotten a little bit more of the...
Tonight in Brownsville, everyone likes everyone so much. The way they're going to arrange the seating at the ball game is bear, cat, bear, cat, bear. Like Wildcat, then a Bear fan, then Wildcat, then a Bear fan.
I didn't know if you were just going to
No
let
one
in a
will
bunch of
dis-
University of Cincinnati fans.
No,
instead.
we're not doing Cincinnati. But anyway, so it'd be fun to see.
I think you need to get Kyle Pierce on the line and give him your idea.
Yeah, alternating. Well, you know how in school they used to say, okay, sit boy, girl, boy, girl. Do that because you put these two boys together and they'll be wrestling over there and all that. So that's how we'll do it. Winter like Friday after a summer like Thursday, and then we're going to see warmer weather for the weekend. Now, not as warm as yesterday and the day before, but certainly warmer than today. We'll see a high of 51, but we've got a wind blowing today, and so the wind chill's feeling, 8 to 10 degrees cooler than what the actual temperature is. Off to our north this morning, they're getting a little bit of a mixture of some kind of spitting stuff, but that's over in southern Indiana. We'll see partly cloudy and a high of 51 today. We'll see a rain chance of 20% tonight under a low of 37. And we will see morning showers tomorrow, a high of 57, 61 on Sunday, 72 on Monday, and 72 could bring some wind and some not so nice stuff. I haven't talked about it in the last couple of weeks. It has been going on. I figure you're probably getting a steady diet of it if you're following any national news whatsoever. But this train derailment in Ohio, first question I've had is how is it that this little town in Ohio is called Palestine, but we know globally the country of Palestine, the Palestinians.
Listen, Kentuckians, we got no room to talk about that.
No, well, I was wondering is
when
they founded the city, did they say, we don't want to be confused with the people in the Middle East, so we're going to insist we be called Palestine and not Palestine. But nonetheless, President Trump was there a couple of days ago. Did you see the video of him going to McDonald's?
No.
In Ohio?
That's not. Usually that's not at the top of the. Usually this train derailment. There's been other entertaining aspects of wildness happening that have been at the top of my list the past couple days.
He walked up to the counter and he said, I know the menu. The person behind the counter said, I know the menu. In fact, I know the menu better than you. In fact, I probably know the menu better than anyone in this building. And I'm like, well, it's something to brag about. I know the McDonald's menu better than you do. Pothole Pete, Mayor Pete, Transportation Secretary Pete, Buttigieg, whatever you like to refer to him as, was at the crash site yesterday. And the thing's gotten, particularly politicized and polarized, but the report is early that the train crew had little warning before the derailment that it was an overheated axle. And it's still continuing to point back to those who made the decision to make the train longer than it reasonably should have been. But once they got the critical audible alarm, the crew of the train responded appropriately, but it was still not enough to be able to save the derailment. Those things are dangerous, and they're ugly looking too. But
well, there was the train derailment. I remember reading in Horse Cave. I mean, this has been 50 years ago. I know that the Bowling Green Daily News did an interesting look back on it, and it's kind of a similar situation where had some chemicals. I think what's orange? What am I thinking of? That was in Vietnam.
Agent Orange.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Was on there, and I know that there were some issues with that. The Bowling Green Daily News, maybe in the last 18 months, did like a look back on it. It was really interesting to read because obviously I'd never.
Yeah, when these contaminants get into your water source, and they stay in your soil, and there are countless examples of those from around the country.
And that one
not
was
just train derailments, but when major industrial facilities are dumping discharging water that's got chemicals in them, so it's definitely can be a problem. Okay, so the legislature's making it very hard for me to get through unscathed today on items of significance, but I do want to start with a good headline that's fun to tell, that the Grayson County High School academic team had a strong showing at the Kentucky Association of Academic Competition Region 3 Governor's Cup event. The team placed third in overall points, with several students qualifying for state competition, which will be held the third week of March. The problem-solving team were Sierra Tyler Clark, Laslyn Hatfield, Gabriel Sikora, and Tara Wells. So congratulations to them. Some other kids got runners up. I also saw where it had several students qualify for the History B National Tourney, which will, I think the qualifier for the next level is in Bardstown. I saw Cole Bryant is on the list of there. I think, I'm surely at some point in time I helped Cole spell some, or learn some history or something. I don't know.
So you're taking all the credit?
No, I'm not taking all. I'm just trying to sliver a little slice off the end of it to take a little bit of
Sounds like you're taking a little more than a sliver.
a little bit of credit.
You love
Well,
Cole.
I mean, Cole gets his own show. He can you know. He
Say
can-
that he's
he
the
can-
reason
he
this
can-
show's successful,
he can
kind of thing.
allocate the credit however he likes whenever he gets his own show. The Kentucky Senate overwhelmingly passed a measure yesterday that would give parents a pathway to challenge school instructional materials that they consider unfit for children. The bill is Senate Bill 5. It aims to ensure the right for parental responses to books and other school materials containing explicit sexual content. It's among a batch of bills under consideration by the Republican-dominated legislature that would boost parental input over school policies. The measure advancing yesterday would require school districts to create a process to challenge instructional materials that parents deem harmful to children. The bill won Senate passage on a 29-4 vote. A few hours after it was reviewed in committee, the proposal now heads to the House. Of course, they got Republican supermajorities in both chambers, so you can't be surprised with the outcome. Because you've been able to see it trending in this direction. Jason Howe said his bill would ensure that parents have a voice when school materials are in conflict with their family values and beliefs. He acknowledged the bill had stirred a divisive response from some colleagues included. The Kate Miller with the ACLU said the bill amounted to state-sponsored censorship, apparently in response to books about sexual orientation or gender identity. Miller went on to say, but in years past, the focus has been on race, and in coming years, it will be on something new. Now, where do our representatives, those who represent us in Frankfort, what did they say? Steve Meredith said, asked during the Senate debate, he said, when are we going to let our children be children? Why do we want to rob them of their innocence? So this has been a long time coming, this issue, and you're seeing it happen across the country. And so I don't care what side of the issue you're on, and everybody kind of feels one way or another about it. But if you can put yourself in the middle or set yourself aside, then this is one of two things is going to happen. You're going to further see the move to charter and privatization of education, or you're going to see conservative families pull back and demand to have some input on what our kids are learning at school. Now, in the 1970s and the 1980s, I don't know how much control my parents had over what I learned in school, but they knew that the curriculum was something that was kind of solid and agreed to, and whether it was a full representation of what it was or not, I don't know that. But I learned a whole myriad of things at school that were not in school books. And I didn't necessarily learn them from educators. And those things I don't think we're ever going to be able to completely get away from. But the choice is, if you are anti this legislation and you're pro public education, if you want public education to continue and you want it to thrive, I'm afraid this is a concession that you're going to have to make. However, if you want this legislation to not be included, then you're going to have to be willing to at least admit that private schools or charter or whatever you want to call them, the privatization or a return to more godly type ideals, that's going to continue to proliferate and be more popular. These types of issues are what are driving the move to homeschool and to private schools. And we've seen just in the last 20 years, a huge number of families who have gone away from public education. Well, this is an attempt to say, okay, we want to preserve public education on the whole for future generations, but we've got to have some considerations and some concessions from the other side. It's not going to quiet the debate, but at least for now, so long as you have a supermajority in both chambers, they're going to continue to run with this. and most likely it will stand up to legal challenge. But it's a kind of a catch-22 if you're on the other side of it, and you say, well, it's. But
So you said when you were in school that your parents, they just kind of knew or whatever. I don't remember what grade, but I do know that before the sex ed class, it wasn't like for a semester or whatever, but for that particular topic, we had to take a paper home and have it signed by a parent.
Yeah.
And if that parent did not, and if your parent did not want you to, I guess you were pulled to the gym or somewhere else.
And there are a whole bunch of kids that need to learn things at school because their parents won't talk with them at home.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is that subject matter that's practical. It's right, because you just have
learning
some
the correct
parents
terms
that
for things
they have
and-
shortcoming as parents, and they can't do it themselves, and so they need the help. But then if you follow that to its end, it gets to a place where, a lot of other parents or families aren't. So unfortunately, not every kid gets the benefit of an IEP. Like if we lived in a world where everybody got the curriculum tailored exactly the way they needed, but that's a fantasy, right? That's never going to happen. So treating classrooms as a whole is a challenge, and there's no magic fix for any of this, but it is not for the lack of trying that people aren't doing it. The Senate okayed a bill to create a crime to punish hazing. They being the Kentucky Senate, voted yesterday to carve out a new crime that could punish hazing with jail time. The bill would create a felony crime for hazing that results in the death or serious injury of a student. The bill won Senate passage on a 27-7 vote, and it will send the proposal to the House. Not surprised on that. That is Senate Bill 9, if you're interested. Also, we told you earlier in the week about the confidentiality program that is kind of born out of the voter registration protections, where victims of domestic violence would be able to maintain some anonymity on their addressing to make it harder to find people publicly. That did go ahead and move forward. That's Senate Bill 79, if you're tracking that in Frankfort. It needs House passage if it wins Senate backing. It's out of committee and being discussed, and so I think that's relatively practical. Now, the big 11th hour issue, I learned, when was our KBA board meeting? Last Thursday? I learned Thursday that this was likely going to happen before the end of the session. And it's twofold. It's two stories, but they're connected. There were multiple bills filed this week in Frankfort. One, to ban gray machines, and two, to further legitimize and solidify gray machines. So you got competing bills, like they do the opposite. A lot of times on issues, a bill will just be yes or no. Do you want the issue or do you not? Well, you got two bills that are exactly the polar opposite, which is rare. If you've been in a convenience store lately, in particular, if you've been in one of the privately owned convenience stores,
There's one that you can almost throw at a rock at from where we are right now.
And if you've been in there, well, frankly, some of them are just starting to look like little trashy casinos. Right? They got their little stools and they got their little video machines, and if they could have ashtrays in them, they would. Where people just sit there for hours and hours and hours playing these games of skill.
Just legalize it and let's stop with this.
Games of skill, right?
Let me bet on sports. Let's legalize casino. You're just throwing money away. It doesn't make sense.
The people that
We've
don't
got
like
the
them-
lottery. I don't understand why people I just don't understand this.
That's who
Legalize
doesn't
it.
like the gray machines is the lottery people,
Well,
because they're
okay.
saying you're cutting into our profits.
Exactly. Well, and then the horse industry's coming in and saying, like, I know that they've issued the sports wagering bill, and I think part of that is, well, you can only do it at the horse tracks. Can we stop with all of this and let's just open it up, because it's a lot easier. I mean, for most people, it's easier to go and drive. You know, if you live in Eastern Kentucky, you can just hop over the border and go into Virginia and place your sports bets than
Or
to drive
West Virginia.
because where's the closest horse track in Eastern Kentucky? Keeneland?
Probably.
It's just
Okay, so you've got those two. So what you've got is you've got shifting sands in Frankfort. They're going to try to kill gray machines. So, like, privately, off the record, they've agreed. all right, we got to put an end to these games of skill. Like we got to get this under control. But then they're saying, all right, we're going to do this, but we're finally going to give in to sports wagering.
Or just let it all go. Like, why? I just, like, I will never understand. And I mean, I respect anybody to have their opinion, but I will never understand. I mean, at this point, we got to just do it. We're throwing money away, and we're throwing tax money away.
Here's where I have a problem with the gray machines. What you've seen is they're in areas that target the people who can least afford it. That's my concern. Sports wagering requires a different level of...
So what's the difference between gray machines and the lottery then?
Nothing. And I observed this yesterday, Sam. I observed someone going from a game of skill where they had wiped out to Keno. Right? The lottery had the Keno over here. They're just, and this is why I used the label that I did about casinos, is that they're convenience stores, but they're turning into, I'm just going to spend my days there. Right? This is where I'm going to hang out during the day, and maybe my ship will come in and I'll get lucky. And I have a feeling it's the people who can least afford it. But yesterday, a sports wagering bill that faced the facts, right? That a sports wagering bill that said exactly what Sam just said, and what I have said for a long. I will not be an avid sports wagerer. Okay, I will not be. I don't like it enough. I don't like to lose. I am not going to be an avid sports wagerer. But we are in complete and total denial if we think that it's not happening. Right? That's just it is just. I mean, it is just being ignorant to reality to say that it's not happening.
It got legal in Ohio first of the year, and going to the Bengals-Bills game, the one that ended tragically, was the first professional game played in Ohio where it was legal. You couldn't walk 3 feet without seeing, bet this, bet that, bet that. They were giving away, I know, you could log on to your app and they were giving you $100 free to bet and so on. So it was just like and if you live like where my friend does in Northern Kentucky or my parents, they could drive 15 minutes over the river.
One of the things I perhaps was maybe the most surprised at with the sports wagering bill yesterday is who filed it, right? Meredith from Brownsville, representing technically Oakland, but representing Edmonson County, portions of Warren County, some of the most conservative area in the country. And he's leading the charge on a sports wagering bill. So who filed it was almost as equally of note to me as the fact that it got filed. So we'll see where it goes from here. Yeah, we got to get to a break. We'll come back, roll on this Friday here on In the Know.
For more than 70 years, Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center has cared for the health of our friends, neighbors, and family members in Grayson County and beyond. We've celebrated every beautiful newborn, every successful surgery, and every healed injury. Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center is focused on finding solutions to your health challenges. As part of the Owensboro Health System, we want to keep you healthy. We want to make you proud.
Hendrickson in Elizabethtown is now hiring welders, machine operators, fork truck operators, and production associates. These are second, third, and weekend shift positions. Hendrickson is interviewing now. Walk-in interviews are welcome. You can also visit their job fair Friday, February 24th from 8 a.m. to noon at 940 Black Branch Road in Elizabethtown. These immediate openings include excellent pay and benefits after 30 days, a $500 sign-on bonus, and much more. Speak directly to their HR representative by calling 270-506-5755 and ask about the available positions. Once again, second, third, and weekend shift welding, machine operating, fork truck operating, and production associate jobs are available at Hendrickson in E-Town. Call 270-506-5755 or visit the job fair February 24 from 8 a.m. till noon, or see all their openings at workforh.com. That's workforh.com to work for Hendrickson, 940 Black Branch Road in Elizabethtown.
Uber is out with an updated version of its app to simplify and personalize the experience for customers. The company says the update was released on Wednesday to tens of millions of customers in more than 1,000 cities around the world. According to TechCrunch, the new app has a more straightforward home screen that eliminates a few extra steps when booking a ride or ordering a delivery. Spotify is rolling out a new feature that uses artificial intelligence to mix your music.
Hey, DJ, keep playing that song all night, on and on and on.
The music streaming service's new DJ tool also offers commentary on music and artists. Spotify announced the beta rollout of DJ on Wednesday and says the feature mixes a selection of songs you might like based on data alongside an AI commentator that sounds like a radio DJ. And Hogwarts Legacy is bringing in some big sales. The new game based on the Harry Potter franchise has earned $850 million in global sales and sold over 12 million units in its first 2 weeks. Tech Report.
Sits a ragged tent where there ain't no trees, and that gospel group telling you and me.
Today is Fish Fry Friday. Yeah, Friday Fish Fry Day. The first Friday of Lent.
It's always the pro to win the district tournaments at Whitesville Trinity because you just step outside and it's like, ooh.
You can run by there on your way to the tip-off. Tortilla chip day today. I like tortilla chips. It's trading card day today. I was reminded, told the story before about my spreadsheeting skills were born out of trading cards and trading card collections and opening baseball cards. And that also took me to my first entrepreneurial endeavor was a job I was commissioned to do, which was inventorying a store. A store was going through a transfer of ownership, and they needed someone to do an inventory of all the items in the store. And there were thousands and thousands of items. And I used what I learned spreadsheeting to do the inventory so that it could be valued. And it was thanks to being able to inventory trading cards that I knew how to do that. So thank you, Trading Card Day.
I've got not nearly the amount that your dad has, but I've got a decent amount.
I can't wait to find mine.
You all should compare collections and see how they stack up.
I don't think I can even hold a
Did I
candle
ever
to
find
it.
mine and show them to him? I don't think I did I?
No, otherwise they'd be hanging on the wall somewhere or something, and you'd know exactly what they were worth.
Yeah.
Does your dad display any of them, or are they like in the safe?
No, he has some on display.
Does he?
Yeah, he's got my little league card.
I need to find those.
Does he have the Hannes Wagner
1980 Caneyville Yankees trading card? Got my rookie card. Sure.
autographed?
No, I'm not autographing it. I don't have time for him. Clam Chowder Day.
Might throw it on eBay then.
Clam Chowder Day is tomorrow. Chowder. Quiet Day. He has 3 cards on display. His children. He may have Taylor's card on there. I don't know. No.
Well, I'm sure very soon he's going to have an Alea Meredith one out there
I
too.
so need to find mine.
Taylor didn't have it. And here's how old I am. They hadn't invented baseball cards for Little League when I played Little League.
Okay, so I have that of myself that I need to find for your dad, and then I need to find that collection of actual trading cards.
Then that'll need to go in the safe because I'm sure it's so valuable that.
Well, there's got to be one or two that's worth something.
She probably got like a Ken Griffey in there or something. That would be about the right.
Well, I'm sure that Alea, when she gets her baseball card, she might just slide right in front of yours. In the spot on the shelf, would she get that role?
Oh, most likely.
I don't know. Maybe.
Aleas are going to be all NFT. Just they're not going to be actually ever on cardboard. They're going to be more, like hologram. That's how that's going to work.
I think NFT.
What's NFT mean?
Non-fungible token. Yeah, that's an after the show thing. NFTs allegedly were going to take the place of trading cards because they're digital.
So it's information I don't need to know.
You don't want it.
Carry on.
Even myself being a fan of that stuff doesn't care. The Bengals email me one and they're like, you can claim your NFT by doing this after every game. And I've not once claimed my NFT.
Because you can't set it on your shelf.
Yeah, I miss getting my commemorative ticket and stuff.
Tomorrow is Quiet Day. It's also Pistol Patent Day. Shout out to Samuel Colt. Sunday is for Pete's sake day. Well, for Pete's sake. Her equivalent of for Pete's sake is, are you kidding me? Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's your.
Yeah.
Sunday is also Levi Strauss's birthday. Well, 501 blues to you. I got those
They got a big
501
big plant
blues.
in Boone County.
They do. Levi Strauss does.
Huge. Right, it won't shock you.
Did you
right
say
by the airport?
Did you say huge?
Huge, yeah,
Huge, y'all.
like Bernie? You know, you got to put up the two.
4 habits of happy people. In case you didn't know, try to enrich your lives. Number 1, move your body. 2, prioritize connection. 3, practice gratitude. 4, spending time with pets helps too. Are plants considered pets, hon?
I mean, they're kind of like pets to me.
Kind of pets that you don't have to clean up after? Well, you do kind of have to clean after them. If you overwater them, sometimes they get away.
Well, and then, the dead, like that naturally needs to be plucked or
True.
that falls off.
All right, if you need a little help in the parenting category today, I read this headline: underreaction is your best parenting tool. Oh yes,
I totally agree.
oftentimes overlooked as the go-to. In fact, I mentioned it yesterday. From my upbringing, an underreaction that properly netted the results that I wanted. When Dr. Miller was here and I told him that for about 3 days when I was, 13, I decided in a moment of rebellion I was going to be a U of L fan. But it netted no reaction. So then I was like, well, okay.
You have wise parents.
Yes, they absolutely.
Just think, you could be wearing red right now.
Yes, and to be clear though, then my grandmother would love it.
Yeah.
Right. So
and I did question that yesterday when I heard you talking about it. It's like, okay, so the parents, yeah, but your grandmother would have been ecstatic.
my Aunt Mary Lynn would have disowned me.
No, then there's that.
So it's just weighing them out on the scales, but it does make me wonder, in this, and it happened to line up with their national championship. They went on a good run, like they were good that year. So it's like I'm going to be a fan.
Kenny Payne, right?
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of them, Milt Wagner, and all that stuff. But it makes me wonder if they said, just don't say anything, just don't react, don't say anything, don't acknowledge. He'll get over it.
There are lots of times that it comes in handy.
It's a brilliant move. Avoid escalating conflict, create a sense of stability and predictability for your child, provide a safe and secure environment, help children feel more secure and confident, help them develop healthy coping strategies, create a positive and supportive family environment, and for the love of all that's good, just don't overreact. The overreact is the thing that, and I got to tell you, I know my parents have got that mastered.
If there is one thing to overreact
Seemingly.
to, it would be having your kid turn to be a U of L fan.
That's where you draw the line, Sam.
No, you know where I'd draw the line. I could live with U of L fan.
You could, but no Steelers fans.
Absolutely not. I'd put my foot down.
Shamrock Shake.
Not
is
under
a-
my house.
Shamrock
I so
Shake
hope that happens to
is
you.
It will not happen.
Shamrock Shake is officially back on McDonald's menu. So right on cue as we roll into the St. Patrick's season.
I've had it once.
I don't know if it's today, but
don't
it'll
think
be
I've ever had
in the next day or so. Cold Stone Cream. I've never had one.
Is it minty?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
assume?
Yeah.
Fine. I mean, it's good. It's
it
been
is.
a long time since I had it.
If I'm going to have, I'm just guessing, if I'm going to have 600 calories at McDonald's, it's going to be in the form of French fries. It's not going to be in a
Or
Shamrock Shake.
McNuggets. Or some McNuggets, too.
Oh, sure. That's protein, though. You got to have those. And French fries are more of a luxury. Cold Stone Creamery launches a new Reese's Peanut Butter Cup ice cream creation line. All right, I could get down with that.
I'm not sure I've ever been here.
But it's only because they don't have.
I have one time.
It's only because Taylor used to take me to the one in Bowling Green, and it's good.
Trying to even remember where that is now.
It's over on.
Yeah, it's across from.
I'll give it a Google. I know I've driven past.
I don't know. I don't know which one I wanted to give the plug.
You'll find it.
Yeah, you'll find it. I can drive you there if you need.
I might be no more.
But
Yeah, I don't think it's open anymore.
But then I go back to, I just used the logic that said, if I were going to have 600 calories at McDonald's, it would be in the form of French fries, not ice cream. Luckily for me at Cold Stone Creamery, they only have ice cream. So if you're going to eat there, you're having ice cream. There's no, well, should I have it in French fries or should I have it in? All right, honey, pay attention. This may be something you have to get involved in a little bit later. This is in your lane. A Florida man and an accomplice steal $1,400 in merchandise from Olson's Mercantile by stuffing items in their shorts. Now, I don't know how you can put $1,400 worth of items in your shorts at Olson's Mercantile.
Wow. That is
Because most of the items are designed to be down around $2, $3. I mean, unless you got shorts full of razor blades, I don't know how you get up to $1,400.
no, that's the thing. So anything,
Don't be suspicious.
So razor blades, Mucinex, that type thing, they all have the little anti-theft
The
on
RFID
them.
chips.
So anything, yeah. I mean, I don't know what they're stealing. That's a lot of ding dongs.
Look at this guy, though. I so wish everyone could see this photograph.
Yes, it is fantastic.
I don't know. $1,400 worth of stuff shoved in his. I mean, it's not beyond the realm of possibility. Like I think I've seen people shaped like this before.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But it's clear he doesn't because look at his neck. Right? His neck
It's
is
not
not
proportionate.
his neck is not thick. But
If he,
then
yeah, and he probably needs a little bit more like under the man boobs,
yeah.
you know, like to even that out just a little bit
I have
more.
a feeling he was on his way to filling that
Yeah.
more out, filling that in. But anyway,
That's hilarious.
Goodness gracious. Got to get to a break. Come back. More on the way here on In the Know.
Maybe you're not one of those frequent flyers, but sometimes you just want to hit the beach. Or see your new granddaughter. Or go to that out-of-state wedding. Whatever the reason for your getaway, if it involves flying in the U.S. or visiting a military base after May 7th, 2025, you'll need a Kentucky Real ID driver's license or an ID that is Real ID compliant. Make a plan to get your Kentucky Real ID now. Go to realidky.com.
The Kentucky Department for Community-Based Services is hiring. DCBS invites you to be part of an inclusive team of caring professionals that helps all Kentucky families through a rewarding career in family support or social services. They have job openings in their county offices across the state and offer great benefits like hybrid work schedule, competitive salary, paid holidays, and many opportunities for training and promotions, plus state employee discounts. Go online to chfs.ky.gov and enter DCBS jobs in the search field. It's a new day at DCBS. Join them, an equal opportunity employer MFD.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital.
Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Down, set, 8, 1, 1, 8, 1, 1.
The best football teams always get the call right, and you need to make the right call before you excavate. If you don't and you damage a natural gas line, the Kentucky Public Service Commission will investigate and you could be fined up to $1,250. So make the right call. Put safety first. Call 811 before you dig.
Touchdown! Oh my goodness!
This message brought to you by the Kentucky Public Service Commission.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather.
We'll see a mix of sun and clouds across the region today with highs near 50 degrees. Some extra clouds overnight as temperatures fall down into the 30s. We'll see some scattered showers around for you Saturday morning, but drier tomorrow afternoon with highs well into the 50s. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Today's Did You Know is brought to you by our friends at ECTC Litchfield Campus. College for the real world. It's affordable, it's accessible, it's right here in your hometown, and got a whole bunch of opportunities for you. They had a new 8-week advantage starting second week of March. So now's a great time to find an advisor, get your class schedule, get your financial worked out, and be ready to on-ramp back into the educational experience. ECTC Litchfield, real college for the real world, where they want you to know cabbage was once considered an aphrodisiac.
I've heard that before.
Okay, he's going to absolutely veto this. The smell of cabbage for him, he would be going in the other direction.
The opposite of an aphrodisiac.
Yes.
Now, put it in slaw, and I'm 10-4. It's
Like
just
a cabbage roll or something?
if
he
you
can't smell it.
like in egg rolls, okay. Think I can do that, but just to walk into the house
like
and there
some
just be cabbage
corned
cooking,
beef, corned beef and cabbage.
Ooh, nope.
Okay,
No.
so even when I put spring rolls in the air fryer, I could see the look on his face when he walks in, like he doesn't say anything.
spring rolls and egg rolls. Oh, there's a place.
It tastes good, though.
There's a place outside the China Pavilion at Epcot where we always stop and we always get egg rolls. Like by the time we get there, we need a snack. Isn't that right, hon?
It is.
All right, so we get egg rolls. I love egg rolls. I love spring rolls, and I don't mind cabbage being in there. But I don't want to walk into the kitchen where they're being cooked. And really, I don't want to walk into the bedroom where they've been eaten.
So you
Also happens.
that is. So you do. So does that mean we should return your cabbage candle?
Yeah, probably better go ahead and
Okay.
give that on.
Dennis and I
to someone else.
had pitched into the money together to get you one of those. So.
Weekend movie premieres. Cocaine Bear.
Is it out?
Yeah, it comes out in the theater this weekend. But I guess what's weird is I thought it was already out. Was it on Netflix or somewhere or streaming?
No, they did they've done like a couple early releases.
Okay,
What is this?
I don't know what it is, but I've been seeing it
just
in the news.
Give it a Google. So Cocaine Bear is it's a true story that has been taking some liberties on.
Okay.
So the actual story is that, long story short, there was they were being chased. They were trying to smuggle cocaine, and they were being chased. And they realized they had to drop it out of the plane because if not, they were going to be caught with all this cocaine. And it supposedly landed in the middle of the forest, and a bear found it and overdosed on the cocaine. I think it's the long story short.
Wow.
But this movie says that, okay, the bear didn't overdose. The bear's just going crazy and going on a cocaine rampage.
Oh, and hilarity ensues.
Yes.
I got you.
And I think from what
I would like this.
the preview makes it look like it's going to be almost like a Sharknado, where it's not necessarily supposed to be good. It's just one of those that's just so out there and so crazy that it's
campy.
Yeah.
All right, honey, I've got the summary here, so let's see if Sam was right.
Okay.
An oddball group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens converge in a Georgia forest where a 500-pound bear has ingested a staggering amount of cocaine and gone on a coke-fueled rampage for more blow and blood. Sounds pretty right, Sam.
Okay.
Kerry Russell, O'Shea Jackson Jr., and Ray Liotta.
Yeah, this is Ray Liotta's last film.
I'm going to say, wow.
So the
This
actual
is what Ray Liotta went out on?
Yeah.
That's a shame.
This is
What's it called again?
Cocaine
Bear.
The actual
Bear.
Cocaine Bear, too, like the one that overdosed, is in Lexington. They have it taxidermied, and you can see it at in some location in Lexington.
Is he related to Paddington?
I'm going with
Pooh.
no.
No. He's not. He's not.
related.
Paddington's like dark black sheep
Pooh Bear.
cousin.
Well,
Pooh Bear.
closer
Yogi
to Pooh, but I don't think.
Pooh's the one running around without pants.
Well,
like Pooh put his shirt on but couldn't find his pants.
I think Pooh is probably on downers, whereas this bear's on uppers. I mean, right?
I guess.
Well, if you watch
But
Boo.
if you haven't watched the trailer, give it a watch.
Oh, I'm going to.
It's a wild ride.
And then also in theaters, PG-13 drama called Jesus Revolution. A hippie street preacher joins forces with Pastor Chuck Smith and his struggling congregation to inspire an awakening. It's taken from kind of a sequence of actual events in the mid-'70s. And so many people will be interested
Cocaine
in that.
Bear is also
I was
taken
gonna
from a
say-
sequence of
I
events.
was going to say very interesting dichotomy in movie premieres.
I'm curious to see how Cocaine Bear does on Monday in the weekend recap.
Yeah, I'm going to say, what else is it? Yeah. I guess we'll find out on Monday. How the Grinch Stole Christmas is getting a sequel book not written by Dr. Seuss. Well, for one, that would be hard to do. Theodore Geisel went on in a while ago. But
I think his daughter took
Yeah.
over some.
yesterday, Dr. Seuss Enterprises and Random House announced How the Grinch Lost Christmas, a direct sequel to the 1957 children's book written by Dr. Seuss. It will hit shelves September 5. How the Grinch Lost Christmas. Between September 5th, will Ron Howard and Jim Carrey have opportunity to make a movie version of this in time for the holidays? I doubt it.
Probably not.
I guess not, but that's it.
Aren't they making a sequel to that anyways?
That's it. I'm not going. Well, they've done it 2 or 3. Like they've done a live action
Yeah.
one. They've done I think they've done it enough. Just leave it alone. The Mandalorian opens next week, I guess on Wednesday. It's the season 3 premiere. Pedro Pascal says that it's creepy to do the Mandalorian voice for kids. He did that in his monologue on SNL. He used it when like.
What is the Mandalorian voice?
Just give it a Google. That's what I'll tell you. Just
I was kind of hoping you'd be able to pull it off.
No, it's so unique. It's really kind of hard to do.
Do you know what it is?
No.
It's synthesized, but not like it's not overly synthesized. It's not like Darth Vader, but it has the timbre of a very direct, like one of his famous lines is, "I can bring you in dead or I can bring you in cold. I can bring you in warm or I can bring you in cold." And it's just it's got a particular staccato to it.
Oh, in fact, I think I literally was looking here at the YouTube video and it pulled right up as the first line to say.
Yeah. I can bring you in dead or warm, I can bring you in cold. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Rihanna will perform Lift Me Up at the 2023 Oscars. So on the heels of our Super Bowl halftime show, she'll be performing the Oscar-nominated song from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. So good for her. I did also see where her Super Bowl halftime show got 103 FCC complaints. I thought it was funny. It's only because people were watching that. Because the week before, there were not nearly that many, but should have been complaints over the Sam Smith performance on the Grammys. But no one who cares was watching the Grammys. But the world was watching the Super Bowl, so they said, and it wasn't her, it was her dancers. And that's what the complaints were about, were the
I just find it
gyrations of the dancers and all that stuff. But of 118 million, that was the viewer. I think the game was 113.
I'm just glad
halftime show was 118 to net 103. That's about.
I'm
right.
just glad I don't have to be the person to field calls of people complaining, Karens complaining to the FCC.
You don't.
I'm glad I'm not that person.
You don't want to be that person?
No.
USA Prime Credit. My name Peggy. You got problem?
No problem.
Here, this is how Sam would handle it if he were answering the call.
I transfer. 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 Hello. My name is Peggy.
That's one of the best of all time. Sam, did you see where, and you probably wouldn't have been as interested, but I know you would, hon, when they did the revival of Will and Grace, they were planning a spinoff for Megan Mullally.
Ooh.
Just called Karen. There was some talk of doing a Karen spinoff, she said, but I wanted to do a show with Martin Short that was different. Also, they were talking to me about doing a Karen spinoff after the last one too, but it wasn't really real. Like, it didn't get very far, but they floated the idea. Can you think that character could carry a show?
I do. I mean, she would have to have some good supporting, but I mean, she all but makes Will and Grace for me.
Well, plus they were going to lose Leslie Jordan. Leslie Jordan was already on another show. They would have really needed Beverly, right? So it's hard to say. It wasn't meant to be, I suppose. We got to get to a break. We'll come back, finish it up for the week here on In the Know.
Have you ever thought, what does greatness look like? The answer lies within. Consider the life of King Herod the Great, one of the most influential leaders of ancient Rome. Among other things, he rebuilt the Great Temple in Jerusalem, making it one of the most magnificent structures in the Middle East. He also built an entire city from scratch on the coast of the Mediterranean, which made Israel a hub for international commerce. Herod's accomplishments were historic. But so were his failures. Herod married 10 wives. Of those 10, he put to death his favorite on suspicion of treason. He killed 3 of his own sons for the same reason after they plotted a coup. Herod also killed several of his cousins, a couple of uncles, and thousands of his own citizens over the course of his tyrannical rule. The Jewish historian Josephus records one last hideous detail about Herod. He was so worried that nobody would mourn his death that he decided to give the people a reason to cry. He ordered that a group of distinguished men be killed at the time of his death so that tears would flow throughout the nation when he died. Herod's life is a study of contrast, tremendous success overshadowed by terrible failure. The lesson to be learned is that true greatness isn't measured according to outward trappings, like power and wealth, but according to inward qualities, like integrity and good character. For more to help you thrive, go to FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
I'm Corey, and this is my story. I was going through some financial troubles paying off my credit cards. I was paying high interest rates, and it just wasn't getting any better. And I knew I had to do something. So my mom told me about Trinity, and so I decided to call. Trinity was able to do something that I couldn't. I'm paying off my debt, I'm saving thousands, and things are really looking up. I promise you guys, you will not regret it when you call Trinity, because it was such a relief and less stress in my life, and it was the best thing I could have done for myself, because once I called Trinity, they took care of me, and I felt such a relief, a weight off my shoulders. Trinity was great to work with. They wanted to help me. I love it.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
I'm Corey, and I'm debt-free for keeps.
1-800-990-6976.
For more than 70 years, Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center has cared for the health of our friends, neighbors, and family members in Grayson County and beyond. We've celebrated every beautiful newborn, every successful surgery, and every healed injury. Owensboro Health Twin Lakes Medical Center is focused on finding solutions to your health challenges. As part of the Owensboro Health System, we want to keep you healthy. We want to make you proud.
Now watch me whip. Now watch me nay nay. Okay. Now watch me whip, whip. Watch me nay nay. Why me do it? Now watch me whip. Kill it. Watch me nay nay. Okay. Now watch me whip.
MB's point to ponder for today. If you could be someone else for a week, who would it be? If you could be someone else for a week,
Are you going to give me restrictions?
who would you? No, go ahead.
Let me guess. Are they a rapper?
Okay. Snoop's wife.
All right, Snoop's wife.
Oh, I thought you were going to pick Snoop.
I was.
I was going to say.
But Snoop's wife, that's
she
just
crossed you up
good.
because she's not a rapper. So Z, you would say you're not a rapper. Sam, you know who you would be for a week?
Can I push my week back in like 6 weeks?
No.
I was going to say, because in like 6 weeks, I'd really like to be Joe Burrow, because he's about to make he's already a very rich man, but he is about to make a lot of money with the new contract. So yeah, without a doubt.
I'm just going to make this really easy. If you're time shifting and you're saying you can pick the week, I'd like to be Jim Nance for a week and cover the Masters.
In April?
Yes, I'd like to be Jim Nance for a week in April and cover the Masters.
Mhm.
Now, I could come up with a bunch of people that I would like to be, for different reasons and different times. But I love the spring, and even Nance, if you could even give me about, 12 days, 13 days, if I were Nance, I could get Final Four and Masters, like into bookended
just
weekends.
this year.
Yeah.
Because I think this is his last year doing the Final Four.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
Where's Final Four going?
Iron Eagle is taking over.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was announced probably maybe fall.
I clearly don't pay enough attention to anything.
Yeah, I think this is Jim Nance's last Final Four, and then Iron Eagle is going to take over in 2024, which is good because Jim Nance calls like 3 basketball games a year, the Final Four and the national championship.
Yeah, he's
so
just so busy on golf. Television. Oh,
And
by the way,
NFL.
I did see where "Thriller" by Michael Jackson is considered the greatest music video of all time, hands down. Easy. 1983. "Sledgehammer," Peter Gabriel was 2. "Take on Me" by Aha was 3. I hate that song.
Wrecking Ball, Miley Cyrus.
Believe
not
it or
on
not,
there?
it's not in there. But Madonna, "Like a Prayer" was at 5. "Smells Like Teen Spirit" was at 4. I thought that interesting.
Huh.
TV tonight. 2020 is on ABC. Whose Line Is It Anyway is on the CW. They're not getting bumped for live golf coverage. Whose Line Is... Oh, I said that. Young Rock on NBC. Tomorrow on SNL, Woody Harrelson hosts SNL, I think, for the 7th or 8th time. Like, he's already in the
Big Cincinnati
Five-Timers
Bengals
Club. Woody. And Jack White performs. American Idol Sunday night. American Idol was pretty good this past week. The Simpsons are on Fox on Sunday evening, and season 10 premiere of The Blacklist on NBC. I got out of The Blacklist about, I guess, 3 years ago. I got mid-season on it and just went, I don't want to watch this anymore. I like James Spader, but I just couldn't, I don't know. I was out. Today's highlight in history this day, 1942, the SS Struma, a charter ship attempting to carry nearly 800 Jewish refugees from Romania to British-mandated Palestine, was torpedoed by a Soviet submarine in the Black Sea. All but one of the refugees perished. In 2008, Cuba's parliament named Raul Castro president, ending nearly 50 years of rule by his brother Fidel. A year ago today, Russia began a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Birthdays today, actor Barry Bostwick is 78. He was in Rocky Horror Picture Show. He also played the mayor in Spin City with Michael J. Fox. Edward James Olmos is 76. Rupert Holmes is 76. George Thorogood is 73. Bad to the bone. Paula Zahn is 67. Sammy Kershaw is 65.
Some good musicians here.
Billy Zane is 57. Sam, do you know who Billy Zane is?
That name sounds really familiar.
He's the antagonist in Titanic.
Oh, see, I've never seen it. So
He's the bad guy in Titanic. Boo, Billy Zane. Boo.
I thought the bad guy was the iceberg.
Right ahead. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is 46 today. O'Shea Jackson Jr. is 32. O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ice Cube's son, is he has a movie premiere on his birthday. He's in Cocaine Bear.
Oh. I'm not sure I knew that.
All you heard was Ray Liotta.
Cocaine Bear, yeah. Well, I read a story saying that it was Ray Liotta's last movie was Cocaine Bear.
Wilhelm Grimm, Grimm's Fairy Tales, 1786. Honest Wagner in 1874.
How about him getting 2 mentions here in the show?
Yeah. I don't think Dad's got a Honest Wagner card. You got one?
3.
I bet honey, do you think you have a Honest Wagner card?
It
in
wouldn't
your collection?
surprise me.
No, like, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be wonderful if she...
A Honest Wagner card could go for easily $1 million.
Yeah. Chester Nimitz was born in 1885. Probably not on the Honest Wagner.
Yeah, I know, but now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like I have given these to your dad.
No, I think you've just thought to several times, but probably never done it.
Okay.
Abe Vigoda is 1921. I heard a message from him. I had a message from him earlier after that, and
Yeah.
he did not give any inclination that he had been able to review your collection.
Or maybe it was...
All he did was encourage me that if I really wanted to,
Okay.
I could still sharpen
Maybe
my
he'll report back to
spreadsheeting
me.
skills, as if to say, we got more cards to inventory if you want.
Or is it her cards that need to be inventoried?
Yeah. think I know where they're at.
My guess is I'm not for her collection. I'm probably not going to have to curse her beyond the initial view of columns or rows.
Alea's a little old enough to maybe you can put her to work, right?
I wonder if we got that big suitcase of a computer still around.
I'd
That'd look funny to put Alea in front of that.
Just to see her reaction.
Yeah, she'd say, "Where are we going?"
Yeah, pretty much.
That's a suitcase. Mm-hmm. Where did I put my clothes? George Harrison was born in 1943. That's funny. All right, chart toppers for today. 1958. Oh, by the way, it's Pluto Pup's birthday today. My sister Martha is celebrating a birthday today.
That's right.
Much to my chagrin, my parents did not name her Pluto Pup. But I have taken the liberty of calling her that at every opportunity. So who really won? Great Balls of Fire, Jerry Lee Lewis, number 158.
Balls of fire. Kisses, baby.
Oh, my.
It's kind of hard going upstairs to get that one these days. The Rolling Stones, Ruby Tuesday, number 167. Pretty good salad bar, actually.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's about all I think they got to offer. But
But it's pretty good.
Can I tell you, though, the thing that stands out to me on theirs? The peas are perfectly frozen. No, they're not mushy. They're not frozen hard. They're crunchy with a crisp coldness.
Couldn't tell you the last time I went to a Ruby Tuesdays.
It's been about 4 years for me, but why are you looking at me fun? Huh?
Well, wasn't I with you?
No, I had lunch at Ruby Tuesdays in E-Town with Chris Winkle and Julie Schmidt about 4 years ago.
Wow.
That's on a KBA matter.
Okay.
You are you're treating Chris Winkle to the best there in E-Town.
That was his treat.
So he's treating you to the...
Yeah, he was picking up the tab.
That explains a lot.
Who is this? Oh, yeah, Love Machine, The Miracles. I thought it was... Oh, yeah, Miracles number 1 in 76. Can't Fight This Feeling, REO Speedwagon in 85. What a Man, Salt and Peppa in 94. Cry Me a River, Justin Timberlake in 03. Adele Set Fire to the Rain 11 years ago today. And Blinding Lights The Weekend 2 years ago today. There you go. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, count your age by friends, not years. Count your life by smiles, not tears. Count your age by friends, not years. Count your life by smiles, not tears. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here on Monday for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for B, Jaime MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes, it's on K105.